My name is Loretta Hayes and I'm from Hayes Sewing Machine Company, and welcome back to our creative videos. Today we're going to show a little bit of ruler work. We've done ruler work videos in the past and we've had a lot of requests about other rulers. So we're going to cover some Amanda Murphy rulers that are fairly new to us. We've been carrying them for maybe about 9 months. And so somebody requested that I show how to do feather rulers. And feather rulers are awesome. This one here is the Every Feather Plume set. It's a set of 4 rulers, so these 4 to go together. So you have 5 different size feathers. So 3 on this side and 2 over here. And she is fabulous because she gives you 2 rulers, one and then the mirror image of the other, because 99% of the time you're doing feathers on both sides of the spine. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this. These all 4 come in one set. It's called the Every Feather Plume set. And then the other one that is sold separately but is used quite in conjunction with the feathers is the Every Feather spine ruler, which will give you a 4-inch curve and also a 6-inch curve. So lovely, lovely rulers. She has fabulous markings on it. I have not worked with her rulers where I needed to tape on a marking of my own. She just does a fabulous job in putting it together. So to start with, when you're learning your feathers, probably easiest to start out with a straight lined feather. So we're going to draw a spine. So once again, this could be a border. You know, you could do a 4-inch border and you could drop your line right down in the middle at the 2-inch mark. You're then going to take your feathers, okay, and you want to stitch your spine first. So that's the first rule of feathers, is that you want to be stitching your spine before you actually start the feathers. So we're going to start by picking up our thread. Do a little hitch back and forth to get that tacked in. Now you're like, oh, Loretta, but you know, there's not a straight ruler, right? Well, yeah, sure there is. So if you come in and use the edge of your feathers, the other edge of the feathers, that'll give you a nice straight line. So we're going to sew down. Okay, we'll start our feathers there. All right, so we have the choice of 5 different size feathers. If you're doing a border, you might want to stay with one size because it would be consistently filled in. But there's certainly no reason why you have to do that. You could alternate, change whichever way you'd like. So what we're looking at is, you can see it says straight spine and it's got a nice dotted line there. So I'm going to do this first one here. I'm going to line the ruler up so that the line is lined up right with my sewn line.
Got it.
So we're going to come in and we're going to stitch. And you can complete this first feather, or this first feather could just be the curve at the very bottom. Oftentimes with traditionally done feathers, you have like an inverted curve at the bottom of it. So all feathers are going to be done in pairs. So we've just sewn our first feather. We're then going to come and we're going to sew upward till we come about to the top.
Got it.
All right, there's no specific mark. It may actually even vary as you go along, but so long as you're roughly at the top of the feather, it's going to work up just fine. We're then going to slide the ruler up.
Making sure you keep it on that line, right?
Making sure the line is on there. Okay, the ruler is now touching the foot. And now we're going to come along and we're going to sew back until we get to the spine. So that is our pair. If you've done your rule, like if you've done free motion feathers, this is basically the bump method of free motion feathers. And what's kind of cool about this is you can practice with your ruler and you're learning how to do free motion feathers. You're getting the rhythm of it.
The muscle memory.
So, yes, exactly. So now what we need to do, because we've done our first pair, now we need to move up the spine. So what we need to do is we need to look at the point where we started and the point where we ended. So there's about like 3/4 of an inch of sewing there. So I'm going to take the straight edge of my ruler and I'm going to sew up about 3/4 of an inch. Now, there is no need to measure this. You're not marking this on the feather line, that kind of thing. We then come back and we're going to now line up, once again, the straight line. And we're working at this. So now what I'm doing is I'm checking it out. Am I going to catch this the previous bump? And I'm not. Because what happens is you're sewing 1/4 of an inch off of the edge of the ruler. So I know that I've gone a little too far, and so all I'm going to do is I'm going to back up a couple of stitches. So this is where I'm saying there's no need to be measuring and doing, you know, don't, I think we've established I've got little OCD tendencies. And even I don't measure this. So we're going to come in and we're going to work our way up. So now we can come back and we can catch that feather. We're going to do a halfway up to the top. Remember, we're doing it in pairs. So we're going to slide the ruler up. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and we'll complete our pair. Come back to the line. And you can see how gorgeous they're looking.
They're great.
So we would then take our ruler, go to the straight, go up about 3/4 of an inch, and then just continue to repeat. What the genius that Amanda Murphy is she's got the ruler for this side, and then all we do is we repeat the same thing on the other side. Now for myself, what I like to do is I like to go up all the way on one side, and then I like to come back down here to the bottom. I'll cut my thread and then I will go ahead and work my way the other way. For some reason I find it easier to keep in line when I'm going the same direction.
Okay.
Okay. Now what you do is you do a couple of borders of those feathers and then you will feel really confident with the bump method. So then now you've got like potential here for all kinds of fun stuff. So oftentimes we're doing really big borders, and that's where feathers are awesome because they will fill in super, super well. So I think we'll get a different piece of fabric here. So maybe we want to do a feather that's going to kind of flow, and that is what the spine ruler is about. So the spine ruler has a 6-inch and a 4-inch. So if you were in the middle of your border, so let's say we had a 6-inch border and we drew our straight line. So let's go ahead and draw a line.
Even I can do that math.
Yes, all fractions must be rounded to an even number, right? All right, so there's the middle of our border. So what you'll see is on the ruler there's a center line. And so we would line that up with the center line. We're going to start in this little pocket that's in the front of the ruler. Once again, foot down first, then into the pocket. Pull your bobbin thread. Okay, and then do just a little hitch. Clip your thread, get that out of the way. Now, if you are a quilter that it's, you know, this is going to Paducah to be in the quilt show, I would leave those threads long and I would put them on a hand needle after I'm done and sink them into my batting. But most of my quilts are for people to wrap up in front of the TV, and so you can just go ahead and clip them. That little hitch is enough. All right, so here we go. We're going to follow the curve. and we're going to come along until we get to the pocket. So the pocket's actually going to physically stop me. It's going to make it so that I can't go any further. So then all we're going to do is we're going to take the ruler out, we're going to flip it around, and we're going to line it up on the line again.
So it's not uncommon for you literally to get up like you've been doing in...
Yes, because my X-ray vision is not what it used to be.
Well, fine.
So we'll come in and do that. And so we'll now come and we'll work our way down.
And I thought you could do
so
everything.
you end up with this super cute little curve. So this is the 6-inch one. 4-inch one, you're going to be a few inches less. A little bit tighter curve to it.
Got it.
On there. I mean, this ruler would be cool just for
I was going to say, that looks lovely.
If you did no feathers whatsoever, you would be in awesome shape here. All right, so now if we come in and we are doing feathers, so let me grab this on that side. There we go. All right, so let's do a smaller feather so you get to see. So here's the issue that most people have. They're looking at it and they're like, this straight line, I can't line it up on my curve. Well, it's fine. It's not going to be, close is good enough. So I've got it kind of lined up here and the straight line back there. And so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to stitch up. So once again, that first one will go like a little half feather. Okay, we'll go up to the top. And then we're going to slide the ruler up, and I'm just going to twist the ruler
just do slight adjustments.
So that straight line is lined up on the curve. And then off we go. And we'll go into that. We would then come along, and we would need to sew along that curve. So remember, we're still doing it in pairs, but we need to sew along the curve. Mm-hmm. So rather than grabbing the other side of my feather ruler that's straight, I would keep my ruler around for the spine so I can use that and just make it a little neater as I travel up my curve.
Got it.
Going along like that. Now, you could change sizes. So I did the middle one there. So I could come in and I could take and change and do a larger one. So if I come in, they'll kind of stack. So if I come in and do this, once again, my straight line is roughly there. So I'm going to come around. And so now it's going to look like my feathers were stacked on top of themselves. We're still coming back to that top. We're still doing it in pairs. So we're going to slide it up. We're going to come back to our line. We can then take our ruler and we can travel a little further along on the line. Okay. And then we could maybe take the larger size that comes with it and we could come in and do this. Now I haven't put my handy grip on here, so we'll see if we can swing this one here. So we come up, there's our pair, and then we can come in. How about we just go right to the next size going on like that. So we can come in. So beautiful.
That's lovely.
So doing the...
I'll give you the next quilt I'm doing.
Okay. But doing the curve really isn't any more difficult than doing the straight.
That's gorgeous.
And I don't think that the straight is limited to doing only one size feather, but I think these curves really show off doing the different size feathers in it. So things to remember for your feathers is that you're going to do, each feather is going to be in a pair. So we're going to come up, we're going to go up to the top, we're going to go along. Then we travel along the spine and we repeat the procedure coming along. And that is called the bump method of making feathers. Awesome. So I hope that you enjoyed this ruler video. The ruler work, if you have had issues where you're not comfortable with free motion, ruler work really is structured free motion. It's free motion with training wheels. And there are so many awesome rulers out there that will create what would be challenging shapes to do with free motion. It makes it so easy to do, and you get success right away. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time.